Welcome to episode number 1 of Rating Your Physiques. First off, we have here Shade Bodybuilding. If you would like your physique rated, drop it in the comments and I will make a video of it. First off, this guy's built. I mean, if you're looking at him and you're seeing the same thing that I'm seeing, this guy's a house, alright? So what I would say starting off is the first thing that jumps out to me are the arms. This guy has massive arms compared to the rest of his body. Part of that is because I think that his upper arm here is going to be shorter just in overall length compared to the rest of his body in terms of proportions, but that plays into his favor. You know why? Because he gets these huge biceps and triceps then in comparison to other guys that might have longer arms at the same stature. Another thing to note about the arms here, he has solid bicep development, but crazy tricep development. This bottom sweep here is pretty nasty. In this front double bi, the tricep usually on a lot of people doesn't have this much meat to it, and so you don't get that lower sweep. So if you're looking at this bottom sweep here, most people kind of taper off, it's a little bit flatter, and then they still have this big bicep peak. Not the case for this guy. He clearly trains triceps hard. Again, with those shorter arms, it might be an advantage to him, but that's not taking away his hard work. Another thing to note with the arms here, forearms are pretty developed. I would say that they are maybe slightly underdeveloped just in comparison to his upper arm, but this is one pose. If he's in a different pose, maybe I would say differently. I would say the next thing that my eye gets drawn to is the lats. He does have a pretty good hourglass in terms of his waist thinning down, and as he gets leaner, it's only going to get better and better. The one thing that I would note is I'm not sure if the pose itself is a little asymmetrical or if you do have more development on this side here comparative to this side. So that would be my one note, I guess, is maybe go for unilateral movements for the lats if that is the case. Again, the way you hit the pose, it can happen though. If you're pushing out more on one side than the other, it's just going to be a little bit more swept on one side than the other. So I don't know the full story here. I'm not going to judge too hard on that, but just a critique that I would say. Next thing here is with the chest. You can see that he has good separation in the middle chest. It doesn't, taper off. There's still a fair amount of muscle mass in the middle chest there, even when hitting a front double, which is pretty impressive. And also, he still has this bottom sweep of his chest. A lot of people kind of lose that whenever you're hitting a front pose because your chest is just going to get stretched so far. So that clearly shows that if he was in a different pose, this guy still has some solid chest development. Another thing to note, that upper chest here, he has a solid upper chest. I mean, again, like I'm glazing this guy at this point, but his upper chest development into his shoulder, he still has a good sweep in the shoulder in this front pose, so they're getting that first hump of the shoulder here, second hump of the bicep, which is what you want. You want to have a good, separation between the two. Can't see the legs or anything here, can't see anything else, but in terms of what I can see, I would say solid lats. Again, that one critique with that is the only thing that I would give. I would also say that in terms of arms, that's definitely his strong point. And then if we're talking about chest and everywhere else, he's solid. Again, waist, when he slims down and he loses just this little bit of oblique fat here, I mean, he's going to have a nasty V-taper. It's going to be nuts. So again, props to this guy for putting his physique up for a rating. This is just my subjective opinion, but the guy looks crazy. Again, these are very minimal things that I'm talking about here in terms of improvement. The guy's nuts. But yeah, if you want your physique rated next, drop it in the comments and I'll be sure to get to it.